I didn't see you there. Hey everyone, and welcome back to What's Your Favorite Scary Story? This is episode 3, and before we get started with the stories, I just want to shout out Austin Michael, who's going to be voice acting in some of these stories, and I'd like to shout out Julia, because she's going to be singing one of the stories, so thank you guys a lot, love you, and yeah, let's get into the first story. Mommy's home. A father is laying in bed after just waking up. He grabs the baby monitor and walks to his desk in his office at home. He has his baby on the baby monitor and hears his wife singing to her. He cracks a smile as he hears his wife.
Go to sleep, go to sleep.
Suddenly, the front door opens up and his wife comes in with groceries. This one I thought was pretty clever. Once I read the ending, I was like, okay, I could kind of see where I was going. I think now, since I've started reading a few, I could kind of see where they're going to go. So now it's, are you going to exceed my expectations or surprise me? Which, I don't want to say this one surprised me, but I thought it was a good read. But, let's go to the next story. Pretending to be asleep doesn't work. A young boy is sleeping in his bed on a usual night. He hears footsteps outside his door and peeks out of his eyes to see what is happening. His door swings open quietly to reveal a murderer carrying the corpses of his parents. After silently propping them up on a chair, he writes something on the wall in the blood of the dead bodies. He then hides under the child's bed. The child is scared beyond belief. He can't read the writing on the wall, and he knows the man is under his bed. Like any child, he pretends that he slept through the whole thing and hasn't awoken yet. He lays still as the bodies, quietly hearing the breaths from under his bed. An hour passes, and his eyes are adjusting more and more to the darkness. He tries to make out the words, but it's a struggle. He gasps when he finally makes out the sentence. He feels something shift underneath his bed. This one I thought was a lot of fun. This one isn't fun. The kid's parents died, and he's probably next. It can be assumed. But I don't know why I was reading it. It was just a lot of fun to me, this one. As weird as it sounds. But let's get to the third story. What's in the basement? Mommy told me never to go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy, so I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad and I cried. Then Mommy told me never to go into the basement again and gave me a cookie. That made me feel better. So I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. This story for me had major The Audition vibes, which, if you haven't seen that movie, I just recently watched it about a week ago. Yeah. Great movie. It's for you people who like torture in your movies. It is your type of movie, but I got some The Audition vibes from this specific story. Well, let's get into the last story of the episode. There's someone under the bed.
I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me,
Daddy, check for monsters under my bed.
I look underneath for his amusement, and see him. Another him. Under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering,
Daddy, there's somebody on my bed. I think I've only seen this shown once in a movie. I think it was called The Hatred, the movie that I was in. But if there's any other occurrences of this happening in a movie, let me know, because I think this is such a clever scare. And it's well written. Although it's only like 3 sentences long, or 2. I like it, so sue me. So, I'm going to rank the stories. What's in the basement? There's someone under the bed. pretending to sleep doesn't work. And the last, Mommy's home. And there's nothing against that story. I just think it's not the best one compared to all the other ones, although it is a pretty good story. So thank you everyone for watching. Leave some suggestions of other stories that I could do in the future. But let's flash forward to the next review.